Now, live from Artie's Cut Rate Liquor Store, shooting range, candle shop, bowling alley, massage parlor, it's the Dave and Doc Podcast.
Hello, hello.
Happy night, full of fright,
Happy night.
fired up, ready for the fight.
Yeah.
Go Vols.
My God. Austin P.
I'm excited.
What could
I'll be the
possibly
one in
happen?
orange with my youngest.
There,
with
you'll
my
be the one
oldest,
in
my
orange.
youngest. No, with my oldest.
I'll watch it on TV.
I'll be the one in orange.
I'll
Just
watch
be
it on
looking
TV.
for us. Be looking for us. I'm excited to take Callan. It'll be good.
Oh, that is going to be fun. You said it's her first game.
It'll be her first
Oh,
game.
that's awesome. That's
It'll
awesome.
be her first game, so I'm excited.
It's the Dave and Doc Podcast, folks. I'm Dave.
And I'm Doc.
And all things Dave and Doc on our website at DaveDoc060. That's Dave and Doc DOC.com. Thanks to the 7,500 subscribers on YouTube and growing.
Thank you.
I certainly appreciate that. I don't
Yes,
know why
we do.
you're listening, but I'm glad you are.
That's right.
Or viewing, whatever.
It's high quality
It's
H2O.
that's a high quality H2O.
Oh, crap. That might be copyright.
Probably. Just so you folks know, Doc's being arrested for copyright infringement. We did. We talked about Hulk Hogan last week. And,
We did. And I told you what was going to happen.
You did.
I did, and it did.
So we got dinged.
We got dinged.
We got
It's
dinged.
okay.
That video is ineligible
Dadgum.
for monetization.
Monetizing,
Monet-
hip hop anonymous.
We've
You give him the easy one.
We've been monetized.
We've been
That
monetized.
video is ineligible for the fuck. We don't get paid for that.
It's okay.
video.
We got
God's
nothing.
Sakes.
We didn't get the $4.
We did. Maybe
We missed.
Maybe less.
We missed the.
Maybe less than that. I don't know. This is episode. We 60?
Oh,
Is this 60?
it is
It is episode 60.
6.
We haven't been canceled.
No,
We haven't been sued.
not yet.
Few copyright infringements. That's okay.
Gonna still happen.
That'll continue to happen.
It's okay.
But yeah, how about that? 60
I
episodes.
mean, that's pretty awesome.
It is.
I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, 60 episodes. So
Number 60.
if you haven't
Rocking it.
subscribed on YouTube yet, then something's wrong with you.
You're missing out.
Something's wrong with you.
You can comment.
You can't.
There are only 2 of you, and none of you's an expert.
It's right. You guys talk about very impactful things without an expert in the room.
Like ass hat, right? You know,
Like I said before, folks, if
the
you're
bunghole agitator.
if you're tuning into this to get some knowledge, something's wrong. You need to chickadee check yourself before you rickety wreck yourself.
Oh man, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Oh,
DaveAndDoc060.com. That's it.
that's it.
7,500
7,500
going
subscribers.
strong. I like it.
There's only 7 billion people on Earth, so we're getting there.
I mean, one piece at a time. How do you eat the elephant? A piece at a time.
A piece at a time. That was how I got through my teenage years, too.
That's it. Yep. Speaking of elephants, you want some Florida jokes?
Right? Speaking of bananas, do you want to talk about Texas? Sure.
Oh no.
These Florida jokes. So let's be clear.
So it was very exciting last week. Obviously, your team played really well. We're going to get to that.
Yes, we will.
And all the things. My Vols finally got going. Kind of like y'all. Second half, y'all really got it rolling. So
Yep.
But everything's talking about Florida, DeSantis, his team's unraveling. Got the hurricane. You got the Knowles.
Yeah.
You got the Gators who laid an egg. So I thought we'd just have some Florida jokes, and some of these are Florida State, some of these are just, they're just Florida jokes.
I got you.
Some of these I actually think that you're going to like. So what is the
Which means
average?
some of these I'm not. Go ahead.
What does the average Florida State University student get on his ACT?
Oh, God. What?
Drool. If you have a car containing a Seminoles wide receiver, a Seminoles linebacker, and a Seminoles defensive back, who is driving the car?
I think I know the answer to this, but go ahead.
The police.
Yes. I was going to say the state police.
Oh, how do you castrate a Florida State Seminole fan?
How?
Kick his sister in the mouth. That's mean.
That's pretty good, though. Oh, that could also apply to Georgia.
Right? Right, or somewhere else.
Go Noles.
Right?
Hi, sis.
Why are rectal thermometers banned at Florida State University?
Why?
They cause too much brain damage.
Oh, well, of course they do.
What is the definition of safe sex down in Florida?
I'm a little nervous about this one. What's that?
Placing signs on the animals that kick.
Right? That's why you put the goat on the cliff so it pushes back.
Oh, did you hear about the Florida Gator fan who tried to blow up the Tennessee team bus?
No.
He burned his lip on the tailpipe.
No, just...
Why did Forrest Gump choose Bama over the University of Florida?
Why is that?
He wanted an academic challenge. And last but not least,
oh my gosh,
why couldn't the baby Jesus have been born in Florida?
Why?
Because there's no way that you could ever find 3 wise men and a virgin.
One of those in particular.
You didn't like that one as much. I
No.
thought that would be the showstopper.
No, I liked that one. There was the other ones I liked too. But,
Those are pretty good, right?
no, they were. They were pretty good.
That's good stuff.
Dishing on my Knowles.
It's okay.
It's okay. I'm okay.
It's okay because you could insert Tennessee pretty much into all. You know what I mean?
Listen, Florida State's
that's
got the smallest number next to their name in a long time. Okay, I'll take it. Top 5, okie doke.
But just remember, 2 is not a winner, and 3 nobody remembers.
That's true. And 4 is just a whore.
Who got a purty mouth?
I think it's written down somewhere. 4 is just a whore.
Anyway,
Speaking of whores,
Hey!
and like nothing like some cool music for whores to dance to. And Jimmy Buffett's no longer with us.
how about that?
Yeah,
That's sad.
he's wasted
Merkel
away in
cell
Margaret.
skin cancer.
Yeah,
Very aggressive, known to come back. I mean, it's not good.
you think he got it from
Not
a
good.
pop top? Sorry, I'm waiting all week to say it.
Cut his heel, had to cruise on back home.
Yeah, that was it.
Doubt it.
It's funny. Jimmy Buffett, actually wrote a lot of really good music and actually wrote music
Yes.
for other artists as
Right.
well. That people
Built
don't-
a $1 billion empire.
Yeah, and we ate at Margaritaville one time because that's all I could take.
Salt. Do you remember that? And the big,
I just didn't love Margaritaville. The food wasn't great. I'm like, this is McDonald's that's more expensive. But it was cool though because like I love that kind of music. I'm a beach guy, even though I don't like going to the beach
I was gonna say, even
often.
though you don't, yeah.
I like living at the beach.
Captain
though.
George's.
I do like Captain George's, but like
They don't go salt.
No.
They
Depends
go
on-
heart attack.
But like, I mean, I remember like when it's like I love beach music and I love kind of that.
But I'm not playing it because we're going to lose that $4.
That's right. Don't play it. We'll lose $4. But like, I love all that stuff and like just Jimmy Buffett, like just he was the beach. Like if you went to the beach, he was the beach.
What would Jimmy Buffett do?
Yeah,
His last concert, they called him out and he said, "I'd come sing with you
yeah,
or sing for you."
yeah,
And that wasn't that long ago, and he's dead.
yeah. I don't know how old he was when he died.
76.
There you go, 76. So
I know.
rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett.
I mean, just music, and it'll live on, but just music that just spanned generations too.
Yeah,
Because everybody like that.
oh yeah.
You know? I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, like you said, it just, yeah.
It's
Crazy.
It's just sad. I think when these
is.
guys died. And then the lead singer from Smash Mouth, Steve Harwell, died.
He had some bad stuff going on.
Hey, now you're an all-star.
Get your game on, go play. Hey, now you're a rock star.
Yeah.
All that glitters is gold.
Yeah.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Look at you. Look at you. You lyrical master, you.
I'm the lyrical gangster. Turn him out.
Copyright infringement. Now we're going to get sued. No. Yeah, so Steve died, and then Gary Wright died as well.
Dreamweaver.
And a lot of people didn't even know who Gary Wright was until the Wayne's World soundtrack.
How about that?
Yeah, and like Wayne's World like brought that to life. Now, I mean,
Which is crazy.
and I'll be honest with you, I didn't know who he was either until that soundtrack. But then I also like did a little radio gig. I was at a classic rock station was my first gig,
Right.
and so like you learned about all these guys. But like Gary Wright, yeah, and Gary Wright's gone now. And so all these people dying, particularly like artists like this.
Music.
And like it's like, are we just getting that old to where people like that we admired growing up are dying? And here's where I'm going.
Well,
with this.
that's an interesting point.
I am very worried that at any day Joe Montana is going to go. I'm very nervous. He looks good and he seems fine, but if Joe dies, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to handle it.
What if Steve died?
I love Steve Young. Yeah. Steve's a little younger than Joe.
Yeah,
But you're right. I mean, I would be upset if Steve Young died too. But Joe Montana, when the greatest quarterback,
Sookie,
who ever played, ever played, if and when he dies, which part of me is convinced that he's immortal, but I'm not sure.
I mean, he might be.
He might be. But I'm just, it's just, it reminds you, you and I, who are about the same age, how old we are getting because
Absolutely.
people that like we grew up with,
That's right.
and watching or whatever, are starting to drop like flies.
Yes, because they old.
Because they old. So now I'm nervous, man. I think I need to start coming to see you like once a month now. I think that's
It's like a therapy session. I thought that we kind of did that here.
well. I think you need to like check my rectum. Like I want you to check my holes. Can you check my holes?
So
You could-
let me tell you, there's a saying in the world of physical exam.
Is this the shake it three
There's
times?
only
that
no.
you're
That's
playing
your,
with your.
that's you're playing with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So, when that Blink 182, it
that was the anthem by Good Charlotte.
was good. Charlotte.
Shake it once, that's okay. Shake it, shake it 3 times. You're playing with yourself. Good Charlotte.
Good Charlotte.
Yep, be impressed. I know.
I like the band. I like the band Bad Chicago better than Good Charlotte. I'm just kidding.
No hole is protected. Okay.
Yeah,
There's only
I have 7.
I
I have 7 holes.
you counted.
Yes, just now. So listen, I'm still not. I haven't seen this degree of yours. So I have to tell
for
you.
the rectal exam, there's only 2 reasons that you wouldn't ever do a rectal. Either you don't have a finger, or the patient doesn't have a rectum.
No. Yeah. Well, there
There you go.
There you go. I'm ready. Lube it up. Can
We'll make it squishy.
we turn the lights down a little bit? Maybe light a candle.
The lights. Light a candle. We'll play some Teddy Pendergrass. Turn them off. Yeah, we could do it. I'll burn some incense.
There's a Steel Panther
We'll
song
burn-
called
we'll burn
"Turn
some-
Out the Lights." We could play that one. Turn out the lights. If you haven't heard that one, folks, we're not going to play it on this show, but go
No.
listen to it.
Because we'd lose our $4 and we might get canceled.
Steel Panther.
The explicit rating would definitely be high.
Oh yeah, yeah. But like, I'm worried about all kinds of stuff now. Like,
And think about our parents went through this too with people,
Yeah.
and so that's the crazy thing. As we get older, is I mean now I know how they felt,
yeah.
And that's crazy.
It's like people that it's like that should never die, right? I just assumed Jimmy Buffett was going to live forever. And I know that's not the case, and I'm not trying to be
but it's
flippant
true.
about
but
it,
no,
but it's like you just don't think about it, right? And Bob Barker died, and I'm like,
but damn, Bob was 99.
I know, but still. The official death, the official cause of death hasn't been released. Fucker was 99.
It's like he's old. He's 99.
Shit stopped working.
I
okay?
mean, at some point.
But it's just Jimmy Buffett, and then Steve Harwell and Gary Wright, and then there's been and then the guy who was 36 years old from the WWE who died, and like all these people are dying.
Jerry Springer.
And Jerry Springer
Earlier.
And I mean, I'm just, it's like, listen, Dr. Phil's on watch now. Okay. I'm just telling you, right? He just retired from TV.
Right.
He's doing other stuff. He has his Fill in the Blanks podcast.
Fill in the.
Let y'all think about that one. Fill in the blanks. God's sakes.
I mean, that's bad, man. That's just bad.
He could have just called it therapy session with Dr. Phil, and that'd have been fine.
I mean,
Fill in the blanks.
Well, then stuff, and then like Tom Brokaw.
Yeah.
Like news people, like Tom
Yeah.
Brokaw. I mean, he's got Parkinson's. He's 83. Stuff's happening.
Dan Rather's like 100,000 years old. He got raped.
I was actually getting ready to look that up.
He got raped by that guy or whatever, and who said, "What's the frequency, Kenneth?" and all that crap. And Dan Rather's still doing his show called The Big Interview.
91.
Yeah, and the dude's still doing his show, interviewing people called The Big Interview.
That's nuts.
And he's a little slow now when he's doing it, but Lee Corso, College Game Day.
His reporting saved thousands of lives in Texas during Hurricane Carla.
Did he say, "Hey, there's a hurricane coming"?
Rather spontaneously created the first radar weather report by overlaying a transparent map over a radar image of Hurricane Carla. In his first broadcast, he helped initiate the successful evacuation of 350,000 people. So Dan was actually really, really smart.
Yeah.
We just figured out hurricanes. We just figured out hurricanes. We just figured out hurricanes because we're really smart. That's not copyright infringement.
That's not at all.
Don't talk about it. We don't talk about Bruno.
There was
What's the frequency, Kenneth? Remember, REM wrote a song about that.
They did. That was, yeah. I actually used to use that song to set levels on
Did you
mixers.
really?
Yeah, the very beginning of that song is so perfect to set like a VU meter. For you folks who don't know what that is, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to talk about it.
It's not worth it.
But that's what I used to do. I used to use that to like set levels. But that was a perfect song to do that when I was doing college radio that no one listened to. But yeah, a lot of people are dying, and
You're facing your own mortality.
kind of bummed out about it. Like I mean,
made you want to get a rectal. What? I wasn't expecting that. Wasn't expecting
well,
that.
I don't necessarily mean an exam,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
but no, I don't know.
Chocolate starfish in the hot dog flavored water.
Starfish. Is he dead yet? He's not. Fred.
No,
Durst
Fred is not dead.
Fred's not. He was in an episode of House.
Oh,
2 episodes.
I
actually.
think I did not realize.
Yeah, he was a bartender in House in season 4, I think.
How about that?
Yeah, when Wilson's girlfriend died.
I do remember that.
Yeah,
How about that?
yeah. So there you go. There's some House trivia for you that you don't care about.
Massive attack.
That's right. Yeah. So
People dying.
I have no way to.
killing people.
I have no way
It's
to
like
transition.
a montage of the copyright infringement.
I have
just want
no-
to see what happens.
I have no way to transition from this, but I made a joke today at work that I was going to talk about something someone told me,
Yeah.
and they said, "I would love it if you would. I think it would be hilarious." And I'm like, "Now, hang on now. Are you sure?" And he said, "Yes, absolutely." I was like, "Listen, we're recording tonight, and you know how I will talk about it." And he said, "Absolutely." I said, "Okay, 100%." So here we go. So my boss, Adam,
Yes.
was out in he's from California,
Okay.
and he lives here in Knoxville now, and
K-Town.
and
Whatever happened to K-Town in the fast food? The aliens. Sorry. That was a long time ago, folks. And if you remember that, you have been with us since the beginning.
she just didn't show up.
That's okay.
That's what happened. Like I was on the call and she didn't show up.
It's okay.
And then later she said, "Oh well, I got the time wrong, or I'm
No, you was eating your McDonald's.
my aliens
Probably
are
passed out.
coming." It's so
tin-
funny
the tin
when I hear
foil
her
acted up.
when I hear her sucking on that straw when she's interviewing people. She's like, "Well, tell me more about that." Come on, come on. And then to get in touch with her, like they make it this whole like veil, right? That you can, well, to speak with K-Town. It's like, oh my God, are you serious? She's got a billboard up though. She's got like a few billboards up in town.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Mysterious radio, folks. Oh yeah. Yeah. Apparently it's crazy popular.
There you go.
And she interviews the craziest SOBs you have ever heard in your life. These people are nuts.
I guess people just really want to get into that.
Well, I mean, it's like, well, these animals were torn apart, and you know that another animal couldn't have done that. Isn't that kind of what animals do?
You think?
I don't know. I mean, most animals don't walk around with silverware. So, like, this guy, fuck, I don't know.
So anyway, Adam, back to Adam. Sorry, you said the K-Town and my ADD went with it.
So you did it.
K-Town, Adam.
So I was talking to Adam today, and so I'm in the restroom washing my hands because I wash my hands.
You're not supposed to talk in the bathroom, dude.
Well, this was you're right. You're 100% right.
Violated the man code. I mean, I know it's when you're peeing, but it's really supposed to be when you wash your hands.
Yeah.
You're supposed to just get out of there and then
have the conversation.
Yeah.
So, but he'd been out of town for a while because he was at his father's house. And he was going through they're selling his father's house.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so like he was going through some paperwork and stuff. So he'd been gone so we hadn't had a chance to
taking care of stuff.
Yeah. So
we have business.
And we talk often. So like we hadn't had a chance to talk. And so he was in the office today for the first time. He'd been off
ask me if the water was cold.
I did not.
Okay, just curious. Okay.
It's.
Okay.
I always know that it's cold.
Okay, I see.
The porcelain's always cold for me.
Yeah, right. I know.
I'm like, why is that thing so far low? And like, why is it so cold?
Yeah.
Like, they need a heated porcelain. But so.
And the sanitizer stick causes a rash, just in case.
It really does. Yeah. It really does.
It's very acidic. It's a burn.
It's even worse when you accidentally, like, you're putting everything back in its place and you accidentally, like, scoop that thing up too. Yeah. It's like, it's bad. It's bad. It was real bad. So I'm washing my hands and he comes in. And we were talking, and he said, all of a sudden he said, "Oh, hey, I found out I was a bastard this weekend."
Oh, hey-o.
And I'm like, what? And he goes, "Yeah, I'll let that marinate for a minute." I'm like, okay. And so then we go to a meeting, and we didn't even have a chance to like finish that conversation.
He just dropped that on you.
Yeah, so it's like the whole time I'm in the meeting, I'm like,
that's
what
why
the hell?
That's why you don't talk in the bathroom, man. See, that sort of stuff you can't do it.
So here's the story behind the story. And now you know the rest of the story. Angel and I. I opened the window and influenza. That's a line from Paul Harvey. So we were talking about it, and I said, so dude, like, what? You're a bastard. Like, can you elaborate? And he said, okay, so I'm digging through my parents. Again, folks, I want you to understand, he told me I could talk about this. 100%. So if he gets upset, sorry, you told me I could talk about it. He won't get upset. But so he's digging through his dad's
Let's see him kick your ass
stuff.
So I mean, it's okay.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So I mean, he's not really worried.
I think I could outrun him.
I don't know. I hadn't seen how. I mean, he might be.
I think I could outrun him. I'm pretty quick.
Okay.
For a short period of time, then I just fall over.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, short, but you just got to get somewhere else.
I fall over, ass up.
So anyway,
that's just how I fall. Shit. I don't know why. I don't know why I fall like that, but it's like, oh, ass up.
I was thinking hands down, ass up.
Yeah.
That's the way okay.
So he's digging through. So he's going through his dad's stuff in his house, and his dad's alive. I don't want anybody to think like it's something tragic happened here.
Right.
His dad's alive. His dad's living here now.
Yeah.
So he's going through his dad's stuff, like getting stuff out of the house, making some runs to the dump and all that stuff that you do to
preparing the house.
Correct. So he found
the market.
He found an interesting piece of paperwork that talked about a divorce between his mother and his father. Now, this wasn't like a shocker because he knew his parents had been divorced, right?
Right.
But the year was the question mark. The year said 1975.
Oh.
Adam was born in 1979.
Oh. Uh-oh.
So what happened, his parents got divorced and then remained living together, apparently, for a long time. and never bothered to tell anybody until they said, hey, we've officially divorced. But they'd already been divorced for like 20 plus, 30 plus years.
Somebody gonna be knocking the boots.
So yeah. So
we ain't nothing but mammals.
So Adam finds out. He was like, he talks to his mom about this. He goes, hey, you guys were divorced when you had me. Like, whatever. And she's like, well, his mom's name is Cypress.
Stop.
No. I forget what he said her actual name was, but she changed it to Cypress, like the tree. Cypress. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've
Okay.
yeah.
Not Cypress Hill.
No, not Cypress Hill.
Going insane. Got no brain.
Just Cypress.
Okay.
And so he confronted mom about this, right? And
Okay.
he's like, hey, mom. And she's like, well, I mean, we just didn't tell you guys. And he's like, I'm like 44 now. Like, maybe you could have like mentioned this to me at some point in time. So his brother, who was born when they were actually in wedlock, of course, is now giving him the shit for it.
Of course.
As you would.
As any brother
He
would.
was like, I always knew you were a bastard. I always knew.
We just have confirmation.
But now we have confirmation.
Wow.
Wow. Can you imagine?
I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's not completely uncommon
Big
for
Papa,
people-
Big Papa Pump is your hookup.
for people to get divorced and still live together sometimes. Mm-hmm. I have seen this happen on more than one occasion.
And they still like to get down.
And yeah, I mean, really, if you're living in the same house and it's like, we've done this before.
We know what's up.
I know my way around the living room.
Oh, I mean,
So, yeah. So, yeah.
here's the good news. It didn't mess him up.
No.
He's fine because he didn't know.
He was already messed up.
But it's
anyway.
not going to.
He's so jacked up.
It's not going to
I'm
mess
kidding.
him. It's not going to mess him up now.
No, he's a
But
great
there you
guy.
go.
He's coming to see you.
But it's official.
Yeah.
It's official. That's awesome. I look forward to seeing him.
He's coming to see. I did tell him that you guys are completely welcome, 100% to throw me under the bus any way you need to.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
I have no problem.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Doesn't matter.
It's okay.
You have full permission to even talk about my medical history. I don't care. That HIPAA shit doesn't apply to me. I don't care. I mean, hell, I get on this show and talk about it. I mean, I don't care. Doc, I was trying to shit and it came out my ear.
Is that bad?
I mean, I just want to know.
It's kind of stinky. I can't hear as well.
But anyway, so there you go. Yeah, so he's officially.
So does that make
he's a bastard. Bastard. Adam, you're a bastard. He's gonna listen to this, I know, so it's even better.
ODB?
He's
Yeah, you know me. Apparently your parents are down with OPP
they are.
and each other's.
Yeah, right? It's like, well, like I said, I mean, sometimes, you turn
When
the lights
two
off in the
people-
barn, you know your way around because you're a barn.
When two people love each other, they give each other a special hug.
Yeah. Like
And sometimes you don't love one another in the hug.
I think sometimes people are still together just because, like, you know what? I could probably screw other people, but why not just screw you?
Well, there you go.
I mean, sometimes it's just not worth the effort, right? It's a lot of work going into that, right?
Yeah, but you
You got to go somewhere, then you got to lie and say you got a lot of money, and then you got to, tell them you're a doctor or something. Shit. That's what I used to do. I don't know about you. I guess it was easier for you. Did you used to tell them you were a DJ? Please tell me that. Please say when you're clubbing it out.
I am a professional broadcaster. That's what I do.
Oh God,
A professional
right.
broadcaster.
Yes,
That's it. There was
you are.
nothing
You are
else.
now. You are
We're getting
now.
there. We got some.
We are monetized on YouTube. You're technically getting paid to broadcast, so you are an official professional broadcaster. Congratulations.
Thank you. Hey, appreciate that.
Can I talk about
You can talk about anything you want to. We just don't have any segue this week.
This is no segue,
It's okay.
but this you said
okay.
professional broadcast. I don't even have this on the list to talk about.
Oh, but this is the best. Let's go.
This just happened a minute ago.
Oh,
so
I didn't mean to.
No. This is good stuff. So Diamond Clear Media.
Yes. Oh, yes. Your favorite. Your favorite.
I just.
Your favorite.
And again, like I've tried to work with these guys,
right,
and like tried to volunteer my services,
right, doing the right
100% free,
things.
right? Like I don't want any money for it. Like I love football, and I mean, if you need me to go do a game,
offering up.
I have no delusions. Like
help.
I don't want to be
offering up help.
I don't want to be on. It's
out
not
of the kindness of our heart.
It's not that I just like I have to be on TV. Like I want to see myself on TV. Has nothing to do with that at all. Nothing.
Sure. Well, sure.
It's just like there's football involved. So,
and kind of want to participate.
And so, and listen, and the people that do some of the games, like they love football, and you can tell, I dare say none of them have actually done it before in a professional setting. And that's not, listen, I'm not telling you I'm better than you. That's not what I'm saying at all, because you guys love football, and that's the number one thing. If you actually love something and you're talking about it to people, it really doesn't matter. But just a little thing, dude that owns Diamond Clear Media. Just a little tidbit. Just a little tidbit. I did 1 or 2 games, 200. I did some state championship games. Not many, 5. And I did, a lot of state semi games. Not many, 7. And a lot of region championship games, 10. And I mean, I did, I did some big games, right? So I've done a few of these.
You make the big moves in the big games.
That's right. I make the big moves in the big games.
I got you.
When you're going to a commercial break, okay, and you have to have sponsors, totally get it, 100%. The commercials you have are absolutely butt awful. They're terrible, and they're terribly produced, and they're just awful. But I understand you had to have them. Okay,
because you got to have some money.
You got to have money.
Cash money.
Right?
Sometimes you need some cash money.
K money at TennesseeTech.edu.
That's it.
Go look it up.
Right.
But so like the commercials are awful. Like the quality are terrible. Like it's just terrible. It just is. And I mean, there's nobody that could watch that and say this is, but again, there's a part of that that's kind of endearing, right? It's like, it's a hometown broadcast. It's kind of a,
oh,
awesome, right?
Local flavor.
The same, right. It's a great way to put it. And
why is it not diamond cloudy? Because, some diamonds are cloudy.
They are. Well,
you actually have to get the very small inclusion. You have to get the color.
Yeah.
You need like the D because that's like colorless.
Well, these are the blood diamonds.
Oh.
So they're, these are
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
but I mean, and this guy might watch this broadcast and say,
Sure.
Hey, Dave, you guys look like a second-rate broadcast too. Fair enough. Sure. I'm just telling you, your commercials, obviously, there's not a lot of work put into those. I'm just saying it. But when you're going to said commercials,
right?
Just so you know how the rules of high school football works in general.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Let's say there's a touchdown. Okay.
Yes.
Can I pretend like we're doing a game?
Yes.
Would you like that? Okay.
I think that'd be fantastic.
Okay.
I'm just going to kind of sit here though, because
that's fine.
I am not a professional broadcaster.
That's fine. Well, yeah. I mean, shit, me either. So here we go. So let's say a touchdown has just been scored.
Okay.
And somebody's on for the extra point.
Okay.
I would say something along the lines.
Here's Beeve Cleveland now to attempt the extra point. Sorry, I got you messed up.
Here's Sebastian Janikowski shooting a cigar right out of his mouth.
Holding a can of Budweiser.
So what I would say is, let's say it's like, Fred Smith on for the extra point. Snap back, ball down, kick on the way. Good. Score is 7-0 Halls. We're back after this on Diamond Clear Media. You go right away to the commercial, right? Because most commercials are around 30 seconds. Actually, they're 29.33 seconds.
Okay.
And then you come back.
Okay.
And so how you do that is you go into the commercial, and then out of the commercial, you do what's called a liner or a bumper, right? So coming out of the commercial, something would be on the screen that says Diamond Clear Media, whatever. And then you go right back. It's like, hey, we're back live here at Halls High School and blah, 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 right? You go back into the game. What you don't do is say, Kick is up and it's good. Well, that's a great kick. Boy, he's a great kicker. Yeah, and Hall's really dominating this game. They're up 7-0 right now. They drove right down the field. Let's hear from one of our sponsors. You've wasted 10 effing seconds. And so what happens is this guy tonight was cutting commercial. This is the guy that owns the joint. He's cutting commercials off to go back to the game because it's like, dude, you don't have that much time. You just don't. I've done this for a living before. You just don't have that much time. It's like, and again, this is
tiny football.
This is something that you would know. I
can tell this bothers you.
If you had done more than a game or two, and he has. He's done tons of games. So I don't understand this.
This bothers you.
He did it twice when I was just watching the game earlier.
That's bad.
He cut a commercial off in the middle of the commercial, come back. Well, I didn't know they were going to get back to the game. You mean in the exact same time that they always do every game in the history of high school football? You're right.
Wow.
That's odd. How did that ever happen? My God. And God bless them. Listen, they're doing yeoman's work, right? I mean, they're doing high school football, and they're probably not getting a lot of money for it. They're probably not paying any of their broadcast.
And if they're cutting the commercials short, they're losing money.
I bet that
who didn't give me my 6.33 seconds.
I bet nobody that works there.
That was my showstopper.
And I say works. I bet nobody that's doing these games are getting any money. And there's nothing wrong with that, 100%. Like, I think it's cool. It's great for the community, for people who can't get out and get games or go out to games or just too, lazy to go out to the games. Me. And so, like, I understand it, and I'm glad that somebody is doing that. But the camera work is shit awful. The commercials they're just put together like with, I mean, what are you using to edit this stuff? Like, what camera equipment are you using? Again, what I will say, though, to be able to stream these games is not an easy thing. So they're doing something right there. But it just, every year, it's worse and worse. And here's the thing, right? You're watching a game, right? You got it at a normal volume, and it's talking like this, and everything's great. And when the commercial comes, like, come down to Jim's... Come on, man. I offered my
Does the bunghole agitator help fix that?
It would if I had one. It's like, dude, I offered my assistance. I've got years in broadcasting. I could make it sound better.
I feel there's some pent up frustration.
No, I'm very happy.
Yeah, I picked that up too. Right?
Yeah, I'm very happy. And so this is raw because it just happened. I was just watching it, and I'm like, just shaking my head, and my 19-year-old's shaking his head, and he doesn't know anything about broadcasting. He's like, what the hell are they doing? I don't know.
Cutting out commercial.
I mean,
so they can talk.
You can't do that shit. Get out. I mean, when he kicks the extra point, say, we're going to be back into this blah, 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 and then go, and then come back. And then what you do is if there's a timeout, like an injury timeout or something, you've got about 2 minutes, right? At the very least, 2 minutes. If there's a timeout on the field, you got about a minute.
Okay.
So the rule is if you've got 2 minutes, you have a minute 50 seconds.
Okay.
If you have a minute, you have 50 seconds.
Okay.
And between an extra point and a kickoff, about 40 seconds, give or take.
Okay.
So you have to get in and out of the commercial break to give yourself time.
Hit it and quit it.
You do. Yeah. Hit it and quit it. Don't stay and play. Sorry, I didn't point at the camera.
Because I'm long and I'm strong and I dive down to get the friction on.
I can't ever point at the camera.
Commercials.
I forget where it's at.
Commercials. Yeah.
It's just, I mean, like, dude, just come on. Like, this is not the first year he's done this. This is year after year after year after year. And if you need more funding and you need more sponsorship, then make your commercials look better and more people will jump on board. Just, I don't know. I'm not trying to be overly, like, I'm not trying to criticize.
No.
It's like, dude,
no.
I would never do that.
You were in no form or fashion criticizing. No.
I would never do that.
No.
I mean, like,
No.
that'd be like me picking out a business in Knoxville, like Knoxville Wholesale Furniture, and saying something bad about them. What could I possibly say bad
That would never happen.
about them? Just don't try to call. Just don't try to call because they don't like that. They don't like talking on the phone. Because you might call
and
the
you can
wrong
only
place.
have so many chicken wings.
Yes, right. That's it. After so many, that's just it. You don't get any more. That's it. I'm sorry. We can no longer take this order. Take wings off your order. Okay. We ordered Hooters tonight. You know what they said? We don't care. How many do you want? You want 1,000? We want 1,000 wings. Anyway, Diamond Clear Media, folks.
Do they go by DCM?
They do.
Do they really?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, that's on their.
How about that?
God, their logo. Oh my God.
Not to criticize.
No, God, it's terrible.
Not to criticize, but
And this, I mean, like
they just don't quite have it.
I don't
Here is something you don't understand.
I will voice the commercials for free. I'm saying it right now. I'll do it for free. I'll do all the voiceovers for free.
Can you fix the graphics and stuff?
I could fix all of it if you just turn me loose with it and say, Dave, you take it. Okay.
Dial 1-900-DAVE man fix a lot and kick them nasty thoughts. Commercials got back.
All right, folks, we've got a 38-second timeout. Here's a 1-minute commercial. Let's see what happens back after this.
Sav.
Sorry, we missed the next play, which was the biggest play of the game.
We're talking about salve.
I don't like people messing with football. It just
You
bothers me.
can rub it on your toes and up your nose. You can rub it in your crack, because that's not whack. It's salve.
Salve.
That's it.
What does it fix?
Everything. You'll never be happy.
So I've been
Greasy.
excited to talk to you about this one. We're moving on. Again, no transition. It's like George Carlin. He doesn't do transitional material.
Well, how to do it? We just go on.
So there was a let me hang on. Talk amongst yourself for a second, folks. I want to see exactly where they were going. Okay, so it was a Delta flight that had 336 passengers on board.
That's a big flight.
Yeah, it was going from Atlanta to Barcelona.
They love to fly, and it shows.
They do. They do. They love to charge the shit out of you, too. Yes. Delta's expensive.
Yes. I've flown Delta to
Yeah. So this flight, it's an 8-hour flight from Atlanta to hot Barcelona.
I thought you were going to say hot garbage.
But then it had to turn around 2 hours into the flight and come back to Atlanta and land because the FAA made them do so. And you're saying to yourself, well, gee, Dave, what could possibly happen?
What possibly happened?
Someone shit all over the plane.
What?
Yes.
No. Wait. Now, hang on.
Not joking. Not joking.
Like inside the cabin, or like
so.
I'm sorry. That's so terrible.
A quote is, "It's just a biohazard issue. We had a passenger who had diarrhea all the way through the airplane, so they wanted us to come back to Atlanta." I do have,
and here's what's really bad.
Yeah.
That's 4 total hours in the air, right? Because 2 hours out and then 2 hours back.
Yeah.
But they couldn't make it see.
Apparently, it was so bad. It was so bad. And like there's I meant to grab it, but I didn't. But there was like audio from the pilot talking to the towers, like, yeah, it's a biohazard. Like, we have to come back. And I'm just picturing somebody grabbing their ass, running through the flight, and just shitting everywhere. And you would think passengers would be mad, right? But all the passengers were like, no, dude, we needed to turn around. Like, I get it.
Oh, no.
Like, I get it. I even have exclusive audio from one of the passengers when this started happening, when like the shit started hitting the fan, quite literally. And one of the passengers said, "Oh, shit!" And it was everywhere. And can you imagine? You're on a flight. I mean, like you said, a big flight. That's packed.
A biohazard.
That's packed. 336 packed. That is a packed flight. That is the 2 rows of 3 seats.
It's like it's not the Airbus.
No, but it's big.
But it's big.
And somebody goes,
on the Boeing 747.
Somebody goes running through that thing, shitting like a shotgun.
And what's really bad How did it get? I mean,
I don't know.
how is it not contained at least within the passenger's clothing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because I mean, theoretically,
sure, yeah.
I mean, you've got a couple of barriers there that might at least catch it. And I sure am not going to stop running once I'm going.
I'm just picturing like there's one bathroom on the flight and the dude's waiting and like somebody's in there. I'm saying a dude. I don't even know if it was a guy. It might have been a female passenger. I have no idea. But like just shitting everywhere, just shitting.
Well, I mean, and I mean, here's the other thing. I mean, even if it's really bad, I mean, you had to have some inkling that something was about to happen.
That generally just doesn't pop up on
I mean,
you. Yeah.
every now and then people will have that happen where it's just like, oh, you know,
Like right now. I'm doing it right now.
But I mean, that's bad. And then like, so they were running down the aisle just
apparently
dropping a hot.
Can you imagine like grabbing a flight attendant? So, I'm sorry, ma'am. That gentleman just shit all over me.
He has just shit his pants.
Somebody stands up and shit starts flying. And
man, that's bad.
Oh God, can you imagine?
bad.
And again, the passengers were like, yeah. Like we needed to turn around.
We
Like,
could not
that
have made it 6 hours. 2 was bad enough.
Can you imagine the smell?
We disembarked, man. I feel bad for her to clean that.
I was 3 rows behind a guy one time that farted. And like this dude, what's his name? DJ Khaled. Is that his name? Khaled? Khalid. Rhymes with Salid. He had a whole lot of Salids. And this dude, I mean, he was about that big. And and like when he did it, he goes, "Oh no!"
It's the mother load.
And his buddy that was beside him goes, "Come on, man!" And like I'm laughing, and like some other people are laughing, and it was a long flight back to Seattle. And all of a sudden, like I'm listening to a book, and I'm like, "Oh no!" Like. And I'm like, dude, you need to go check yourself. You've rickety wrecked yourself. He's like,
I have dropped the ass pellets. It's in my panties. Oh, that's bad.
what would you say was Khalid?
DJ Khalid.
Khalid?
Yeah, Khalid.
It's
Could be Khaled, maybe. Salad.
It's Lucas Josh. It's the same guy.
Josh Lucas.
Josh, yeah. Bill Jonas, whatever the hell those people name.
Hey, Jonas brother getting divorced.
Yeah, from Sansa Stark. Yeah.
Sophie Turner.
Is that a real name?
Yep.
She's Sansa to me.
Sansa.
Sansa.
From Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, yeah.
There you go.
I was a big Game of Thrones fan.
There you go. Yep.
I have the T-shirt and underwear and everything.
Apparently, she did something on the ring cam. That's the rumor.
Oh, on the ring?
That it was irretrievably broken, the marriage, after whatever she did on the ring cam.
Did she have diarrhea on the ring cam?
She might have just pooped all over it.
Is it?
She might have fallen ass up and just like
That's me.
like a llama, like a
fall
like a
ass up.
llama. I said a llama, like a llama throwing. There's an inside joke about that one, but I'll leave that alone.
No? Okay.
I can't.
That's an off the air conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were they were 2 hours into an 8-hour flight, and they said,
No, we had to turn back.
We got to turn around because it's a biohazard. Because there's shit everywhere.
That's a bad day.
I really want to. I'm telling you, I don't know if you're going to hear this.
It's a biohazard.
But if you are the person, if you're the mad shitter that shit all over this plane and you want to be on our podcast, I 1000% would love to talk to you.
Come on down.
Let's talk about shitting on a plane.
How did that feel when you realized there was no turning back?
It's like there's snakes on a plane, part one, and then there's shit on a plane.
I have decided to crap my pants now. I have decided to crap my pants now. Can you imagine I mean, because you're already in the hot sweat because and then the sphincter fails.
Squirty McSquirtison.
I mean, what if it was like running out of their pant leg?
Oh, God, can you imagine?
Must have been a large, voluminous deuce.
Imagine being that person, though, after this happens.
I would have locked
Like, you can't go back to your seat.
No, I'd lock myself in the bathroom.
I mean, like, you just...
like, somebody else is just going to have to figure something out.
This is like, I mean, you just like want to like get a flight attendant and say, listen, I have not only shit myself,
Can we pull down to where we won't have to worry about cabin pressure and just throw me out?
but I have also shit all over this plane. There is shit on this plane. There's not snakes on the plane. There's shit everywhere. I have shit on everyone from row 24 all the way back. I am the mad shitter. I have shit all over me. I have no way to clean myself up. What would you recommend? And she goes, let me talk to the pilot. And the pilot says, yeah, we're turning around. Yeah. Wow. And then you land, and like, does that person leave first to walk like the walk of shame in front of everybody, or do you let them get off last? I don't know. I can't imagine being that person and how embarrassing that would be.
I just don't even know. I mean, it could have been the trip of a lifetime. Instead, it turned into
The shit of a lifetime.
nasty deuce.
And then cleaning that thing.
Yeah.
Because they don't do a great job of cleaning these airplanes.
Not anymore. Not anymore. No.
Like, I mean, I sit down in a chair. I sit down in a seat one time, and like there was like trash in my seat, and I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah, it's not what it used to be. I mean, Southwest was kind of the first. Like it's real quick turnover and all that, but now none of them really clean very well. But man, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. At deuce time, I lose my sphincter function. I stand directly by the John, but never hit it. That's right.
It's maybe we get that rapping preacher to talk to the guy.
Oh my gosh, no. No.
Folks, if you haven't seen that, I don't know what to say.
No.
The guy in the background was my favorite. Like, what was he supposed to be doing? And then his wife,
he's like blowing the fire extinguisher. Well, what they said too, I was like,
oh, I know. It's like, dude. Folks, if you've never heard, I'll link it in the show, and you can go watch it yourself. I contemplated.
No, don't do that. Just no.
I contemplated playing it.
No.
And then I'm like, I can't play. I know I can't play a section of it.
No.
But that's the section that I want to play because that's the most ridiculous
Dave and
thing.
Doc podcast does not condone that rapping for Jesus video. That was bad.
That guy's a pastor, right?
Bad. I mean, my first thought was, is this real?
Right, and I don't know.
Because I was like, this is really, really bad if that's real. And then I thought to myself, it's bad even if somebody made this up.
Yeah.
Because of some of the things they actually said.
Rapping for Jesus.
Second Church of Christ from West Virginia or something.
Probably.
That's what I said. I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure it is.
For the youth ministry or something.
No. Listen, if that guy's leading the youth, he's 170 years old. He shouldn't be leading the youth.
I think it was the head pastor.
Oh, that's even worse.
See, that got me burping.
Whew.
But it's not the other way. I'm good.
You're not going to shit all over the studio.
I have good sphincter tone. I have tone. Aiming, fire.
Oh shit!
Let's see. So
there's nothing.
I don't.
There's nothing.
I don't. Yeah.
There is nothing. We just talked about Delta.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't even know how to transition from that. You want to talk football?
Yeah, man, football. Yeah. Delta, and crap and football. Whap.
I want to get to college football, of course, but last night, for those of you playing at home, it'll be Thursday night because you won't hear this until Saturday. The Detroit Lions beat the Kansas City Chiefs as the 104th season of the National Football League got kicked off Thursday night. Detroit wins by 1 point, 21-20. Late touchdown. Kansas City looked pretty mediocre in my opinion, from like what you would normally expect them to look like. But they were missing some stars, like Chris Jones is one, and
Take care of Travis Kelce.
and Travis Kelce. But the Jones part was the one that I wanted to talk about because that leads me into another conversation.
He just wants a raise.
Just wants a raise.
Just wants a little raise.
And he's sitting there in one of the suites watching the game. He's on camera watching the game, watching his team play. And that's a little upsetting to me. But I do want to talk about my team, these guys. Let me just be honest with you. I think Nick Bosa is one of the best defensive players in the NFL.
Yes.
I don't even think it's a question.
Yeah.
I think he's the best pass rusher. I think he's smart.
Yes.
The way he plays is smart. I would love it if he could stay on the field more than he can, but I also understand that the position he plays is a reckless, crazy position. You're going to get dinged up. I get that. When you join the NFL and you join a team, you sign a rookie contract, usually a 5-year deal. Nick Bosa was still into that 5-year deal. This is the last year of that. He did not show up to camp, did not participate with the team at all, and ended up with $170 million. Good for him. You and I may have different opinions on this, but here's mine, and then please, I want yours. You're under a contract, okay?
Right.
Now let's just say, for example, my job. Okay, I'm not under a contract, but if I were. And I just said, listen, you know what? I want you to still pay me, but I'm just not going to come to work anymore until I get more money. And their comment would be, because that's what mine was like, well, you're under contract until whatever date. Yeah, but I mean, we need to extend it. Okay, well, we will talk about that when we get to the end of this contract. Oh, well, that's great and everything, but I'm really awesome, and I think I need more money. So I'm just going to sit around and play with my penis and not show up. I don't know what he did. He probably worked out. He actually looks pretty good. So I think he was working out.
He was just training on his own.
So it's like, okay, that's great. To the point that Kyle Shanahan was like, okay, well, we're not going to have him for the first game. And it all got worked out, and he'll be there.
That's right.
And that's great.
That's right. Work it.
But so you haven't been there working with your team,
Right.
Sweating and bleeding with your team,
Right.
You haven't been in preseason games,
Right.
Sweating and bleeding with your team.
Yes.
You just made a shitload of money.
Yes.
But what you really did was you told the team that the contract that I signed doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit. That's what you're saying. You're saying the contract that I signed doesn't mean shit. Now, if this was the other way around and the 49ers had somehow misled him or something in his original rookie contract, right?
Right.
It'd be a lawsuit, right? Oh,
Sure.
you can't do that to me.
Sure. Now they do get him because like the offset language. Was it his brother that had that problem? Wasn't it one of the Bosas that they did not like their contract because some of the offset language? Maybe I dreamed that. I could.
I don't know. I don't know.
But I swear I think anyway. And this is where it gets. And I don't know all the legalese that goes on with a lot of this stuff because it isn't. If they don't get a deal done, is there any dead period where you can't try to talk about it anymore in the NFL? Because I feel like, don't they have some kind of rules? They do that. Don't they do that in the NBA? This is why I don't know enough about the pro. Anyway, I feel like but here's the point. Here's my point. It's not cool because it's a team sport.
Right.
You want to be with your team. You want to support them. Here's my thing. There is a certain person who gave a lot to a certain city. They did build a statue after the fact. Okay.
Sure.
Got the new stadium. Might be named after some sort of oil.
The big oil drum.
Super Bowl champs, one onside kick if Kendra Wilkinson's stupid ex-husband Hank Baskett could catch an onside kick, they probably have two.
100%.
Definitely negotiated contracts in favor of the team.
Yep.
Has 4 neck surgeries.
Yep.
And that asshole Jim Irsay dumps him like he's nothing. And that would be Peyton Williams Manning.
Yes.
When that happened, I said, you know what? Screw all those owners. Screw all those people. You go and get all that you can get, because if you get hurt or if something happens, they don't care. Maybe some, but that guy doesn't. Because you don't have that stadium. You don't have that. And I hope they suck for the rest of his life. And they underachieved with Andrew Luck. And he got the crap beat out of him. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I hope they suck forever but so there's no loyalty. So go and get you do you, boo-boo. You go do you. Now, as somebody that played team sports, I think that's terrible. Boo-boo. You do you, boo-boo. That's it. But I understand, because when he gets hurt again and gets jacked up, they ain't going to be there for him. Oh, we love Nick and blah, 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 blah. When the undertone is get him out. You know, it's like in kickboxer where they carry him out to the back of the thing and just dump his ass in the street.
Here's my counterpoint to that. And I don't disagree about Jim Irsay.
I know.
I really don't.
But that changed my opinion on this.
Yeah, sure.
It really did. It really did.
Jim Irsay, I think he made what he thought was a good decision, and it was not a good decision.
That's right.
Because I think he thought Peyton Manning would just retire.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
And he did what you should do. You go to another team and you kick the shit out of the other team.
That's right.
That's what you do.
Yes.
And you win a Super Bowl.
That's right.
Went to 2 and won 1.
Yes. Yes.
But when Manning left the Colts, you think he went on unemployment? Dude's a millionaire.
Well, and that's a
so I mean that's my point. So like these guys, when you say, you know, go out and get everything, here's the problem that I have with it, and this is historical with the 49ers. Okay, they have done this stupid shit for years, and there's a reason that we were the cesspool of the NFL. We were worse than the damn Raiders
because of bad contracts
for like 9 years.
You're saying because of bad contracts,
right? Because you there's a salary cap. And the salary cap and I don't understand all the salary cap. Good God, I've tried to, but I am,
because there's ways that they spread it around, they move it around.
I'm just a dumb old.
They're just floating money, basically.
And I'm just a dumb old country boy from Virginia. But there's ways you can get around the salary cap. Like there's signing bonuses and that sort of thing that kind of So the salary looks huge, but it's inflated because of whatever.
Correct.
But the problem the 49ers have had, and this happened in the 90s, right? You had Steve Young, John Taylor, Jerry Rice, Brent Jones, Ricky Waters. You had all these players, including somebody we'll talk about in just a second, that fuck stick. Deion Sanders. Fuck his ass. And so you had all these players, but these deals weren't structured in a way that was team friendly. So there comes a time you got to pay the piper, and it's like, well, after 3 years, you guys are so far over the cap. And I'm afraid the Niners are going to get themselves in that situation again when they said, hey, we realize what we've done. And Shanahan and John Lynch have done a great job of restructuring contracts.
Sure.
So it's like, hey, we're going to pay you guys everything we can pay you, but we want you to stay here, and we want to be able to keep getting players on this team and not get killed financially.
Because we want to win.
And so then you have somebody like Bosa who's already rich, right? And then it's like, okay, he wants more money. And again, I think he deserves it. It's not a thing. I'm not saying he's not worth $170 million, although, let's be honest. But really, but like, okay, whatever. He's worth $170 million.
No, I get you.
$33 million a year, whatever. That's great. 120 of it's guaranteed. Awesome, dude. That means if you get one broke off in you and you can't walk anymore,
right?
Awesome. You're still going to get paid. But to hold out, do you think the 49ers were not going to give him a contract? Do you think that wasn't going to happen? It's like, what was, I mean, to what benefit was the holding out and pouting like a baby?
And I don't know how,
like, I don't
know how much, like, I don't know how irritated he was. Like, I mean, they don't come to camp. I mean, that's happened for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know, like, how, vicious or whatever he actually was. And some of that's agent, that's the agent saying you can't do this, so it's the mediaries kind of dictating what you're doing and not doing. And sometimes they give bad advice. Sometimes they give good advice. Here's the thing. What if he suffers some tragic compound fracture of his leg that lacerates one of his arteries in his leg, and he has to have a leg amputation. He's sitting on that rookie contract.
Yeah.
And he's 25.
What if I hit my head tomorrow?
And making $4 million. I mean, he got money up front, but the tax burden on that, plus he lives in California.
Yeah.
If you don't have the right insurance policy, you're technically not going to make any more income potentially because your life has been forever altered. Now, most of them have insurance that takes care of stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But the NFL pension is nothing.
Well,
you might get the health benefit if it happens in the game. But I think, and again, I get where you're coming from because they're definitely getting, they're getting a lot of money. And they make a lot of money. I mean, their stardom does contribute a lot to that. I think I look at it just from the business side, though, because too many times you hear about how, well, the team's doing it for business purposes. Well, you know what? Then the player has to say, well, then I'm my own corporation, and I've got to take care of that. If that's how we're looking at this, this is my occupation. It's not like we're playing, pee-wee football for fun.
Let me ask you this. Just let's say Monday morning you wake up and you say,
right?
And you say, sure, right? I mean, that'd be hard to have the Dave and Doc podcast without one of us.
It would just be.
It'd be weird.
It would just be
right. But let's say you wake up. Let's say you wake up Monday, and you decide, you know what? I don't make enough here. I'm just not going in. So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to continue to pay me. Okay? Because again, that happened. I want you to continue to pay me, and I want you to think about how much I'm really worth. And if you need me, I'm floating in my pool playing with my crotch. Okay? Which is what I do in your pool when you're not home, just so you know. It's fine.
I gotta fix those cameras.
It's fine. Yeah.
I gotta fix the cameras.
Just make sure the zoom is there so you can get a good view.
That's right.
But I mean, doesn't that sound preposterous? Doesn't it sound,
what I would say, well,
you have to say that sounds ridiculous.
Here's what,
come on.
And this is hard too, because right. It's hard too, because I see the situation, and there's more passion here for you because this is your team, and he's affecting your team in a negative way. But if you're in it for the money and you're in it for the business, it plays itself out like that. But what happens in negotiations, in real negotiations? You're sometimes playing hardball. Now, in this case, we're not sitting here in a boardroom, seeing who's bigger type of thing. But that's basically that they've got the measuring stick out, and you're playing this cat and mouse game of what's going to happen. And so it's the same thing with some of these other people where, like T. Higgins is a pretty decent wide receiver.
Yes.
They give Joe Burrow a huge contract. There's no doubt. And now T. Higgins, they're not even going to pick up his option. Like he's going to work out his rookie contract, and then
he's gone.
He's probably gone
somewhere else. Yeah.
And it's like, but what? And so what pissed me off about that? Number one, he's from Oak Ridge, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But I forget if it was the director of player personnel or the CEO ever said, oh, we want him to be a part of the organization for a long time. We have all the plans to make T. Higgins part, knowing that you really don't, because you know what's going to happen. You got to give, Joey Buckets, whatever his name is, we got to give him his big contract, even though you ain't got no rings yet. And then you got Jamar Chase, who is better than T. Higgins.
Correct.
And you're going to have to pay him as well. And that guy who's, got the 15th in yards in the NFL over, 4 years. So my point on that is, so you have the opposite of that, but you don't hear anybody really getting after the Bengals organization, because from that business sense, it makes sense. It's like, well, we can't do that because of the luxury tax and all that stuff. So that's where I kind of go back to, if you can go and get it, go get it.
Can I have a counterpoint?
Of course you can.
Let's say,
and again,
I'm T. Higgins. Okay,
I get it. And he's not Nick Bosa. How about I say Joey Bosa? He's not Joey Bosa. He's not. He's not. He's not.
Let me just tell you.
You're talking about the best end in the game.
T. Higgins if the Bengals don't pick up his option and he goes to another team, I don't think he's going to be standing in the bread line. That's my problem with this. I mean, we have inflated this. And again, when I say we, I'm including myself. Okay, I'm wearing 49er gear.
Right. Of course.
There's 49er shit all over this place.
Right. We're supporting it.
I have enabled this sort of thing. I
it.
am part of the problem, not part of the solution. But when you just, I cannot imagine calling my work on Monday and saying, "Hey guys, listen, I just don't make enough money, and so here's what I want you to do. I want you to continue to pay me."
But I'm gonna
go over here and I'm gonna watch Dr. Phil all day.
And you need to write the figure down and tell me what we're talking here.
Like I just like what? Like I get what you're saying. Yeah, he could have got hurt. Yeah, he could have also went to med school. Yeah, he could have also done a trade. Yeah, he could have also done whatever. I think it's like being a professional boxer. You chose that flippin' profession. That's what you chose to do. Okay. Do you have a fallback profession? Well, no, Dave, I don't have a professional. Okay. Well, then I'm sorry you got the shit knocked out of you. Now you can't walk straight. I'm sorry. You knew what, I mean, it's like, listen, one of the most dangerous jobs in my mind is a firefighter, right? Mm-hmm. And God bless those guys, because I don't even like it when the house gets warm. I couldn't imagine.
It's kind of hot in here, though.
It is, yeah. It's my anus.
Oh,
it's on fire.
This boot is on fire.
So I couldn't imagine like being a firefighter, right? And and that's like one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. But as a firefighter, if you go into a building and you get burnt to a crisp, you knew that was a possibility going into that, right? Nick.
Of course, the other thing is they could have told him to pound sand. They could have just, right?
Do you want to hear my solution to this?
Because sometimes that happens. I mean, so employed physicians, you have your contract, so you're on a contract.
Sure.
And every 3 years or so, it comes up due. Now, I'm self-employed, so I don't have to worry about that sort of stuff. But what happens is they
seen this.
They look at your production. They look at all the different your quality outcomes and everything.
Sure.
And then it's like, hey, it's this amount. And you can clearly see, you're like, well, you're clearly underpaying me. And these are physicians. These are people that are saving people's lives.
Yes.
And the difference is, though, is in that business scenario, the business people win because they basically are like, well, your contract also says you can't go down the street and get a job. And we're going to force you to do this, that, and the other. And so you're like, well, could I have an extra week of vacation? No, probably not. So, and these are people saving people's lives, getting totally screwed over.
Can I tell you what my solution would be to this?
I would. Yes, I'm ready for it.
And this is awful.
Oh.
And no one's ever going to want to do this.
Okay.
I think it's fine for you to go, and I think it's fine at any point in time for you to go to your employer, if you're in the NFL or any sport, and say, I'd like to renegotiate my contract. I don't think there's a problem with that. Like, I don't care if you've been there a week. I don't care if you've been there 10 years.
Okay.
I think if you want to go to the front office and say, yes, cool, I think you should honor the contract you're in until you are offered a new contract. Now, if they offer you one early, take it. Sure. If not, okay. And here's what I think. I think if you're under contract and you refuse to show up because of a money situation, I don't think you should get paid. I think at that point you should be unpaid, and I think you should be restricted from playing for another team for a full season. And let's just see how many people.
Can't they fine him though?
Nick Bosa got fined, but I mean,
but they waive it.
His effing signing bonus was like $40 million.
But they could have technically.
He did get fined. I mean, like,
because if he didn't have any guaranteed money on the rookie contract left, they could have taken his whole salary back, right?
Yeah, I mean, but like, it's.
And I don't know what the details of.
I just think you stop paying him. It's like, okay, so you're not going to show up? No, okay. So you're not showing up to work.
Not so much talkie. It's just like, that's just the way
you're
it is.
no longer getting paid.
I see what you're saying.
And we'll negotiate. You can show up every day and we'll negotiate. That's fine. But unless you're going to get on the practice field and practice, we're not paying you.
Right.
And if they have a problem with that, then you tell them to go pound sand. Yeah. That's what you do. I just don't think. Here's what I just. And again, I've coached football. And I've coached it at the most beautiful level you can coach at. Right. Is the youth.
That's what I was going to say. You've got those awesome 49er colored glasses.
I do.
Because it's the love of the game. The problem is when you get up to that level, there's definitely that, but it ain't like it used to be.
No, it's not. And I mean, like, listen,
It ain't what it
you
used to be.
49er fans that listen, and I know they're out there because I know I've had comments about the 49er stuff, but I understand. I wanted Nick Bosa back. I don't think we can win a Super Bowl without him per se. I think we need him on that defensive line. I think anybody would be crazy to say otherwise. But had the 49ers come out and said, listen, he's holding out for more money. I get it. We're not going to pay him. And here's the contract. If he doesn't like it, then we're going to exercise our option not to pay him, and he can just not play for another team for a year. Don't care. I'd be all for it. I'm so tired of these people who have, I mean, have they really worked for it? They got a scholarship to play in college, right? So they got a free ride there. And now with NIL money, there's just a part of me, just the old man in me, hey, you kids, get out of my yard, that just wants to say, dude, just screw you. Then you know what? You don't want to negotiate at the end of this contract or in the middle of the year or at the end of the season or whatever. Okay, then just don't play for us. Mm-hmm. And I want it to be restricted where they can't go play for anybody else.
Right.
So they can,
a lot of them.
So they can go hang out with Colin Kaepernick.
I mean, people will sit out. I mean, it has happened.
Sure.
You
and
know.
Listen, here's the funny thing. As a boss, if somebody who works for me, I am the biggest employee advocate you will ever meet. It's not even close. I will fight for my employees. Letting someone go is the 1 million. It's the millionth thing on the list. I will not do it unless I absolutely have to, and I have no choice, because I always think I can save people. I've been wrong, but I always think I can save people.
Right.
And I've been proven wrong, and I've been told this is a fault of mine. I have been told by people who manage me that, Dave, listen, sometimes you got to just understand that person's not right for the organization. You need to let them go. And I'm always like, no. I think I can save them. I think I can save them. So I'm a big employee advocate. But in this situation, dude ain't standing in the bread line. Dude, I mean, it's like the whole team has been practicing and busting their ass all summer. And I don't know what you've been doing. I don't know.
Now, he's been working out. I mean,
he looks like
he looks about as fit.
Yeah.
But again, not going through some of the stuff.
The business stuff in the NFL it's just, I mean, you want to talk about being screwed over, right? The USFL offered Steve Young $40 million, and it was an annuity. He actually had to pay more money than he ever made from the USFL to get out of his contract. It actually cost him money to get out of his contract. You want to talk about somebody who got screwed over. And I mean, Nick Bosa, I don't know how much he was making before this.
Those rookie contracts are not. They give him a great sign-on bonus.
Sure.
And then it seems like to save him money on the backside, it's just not a lot. Maybe it was $4 million. Maybe. I don't even think it was that much, to be honest with you.
Just
and it wasn't. Well, but here's the thing. Again, part of that is your earning capacity over your lifetime, unless you get another job. But purely playing football, I mean, what's the average career in the NFL now? How many years is it? I honestly don't know. It used to be like 6.
I would say it's probably 5 or 6.
Yeah, and running back is like less than that.
Yeah.
And so, part of that was also, you're not going to have much earning power once you're done because your body's broken.
Sure.
Irretrievably broken. And if you're not going into broadcasting, which typically they're only going to pick the top people.
Right.
Then, your pension of...
They can work for Diamond Clear Media.
5. Yeah. No, I mean, I get it because I see, again, what he did was not right for the team.
No.
And I would not like that if I was a 49ers fan.
Yeah. I don't like it in general, just as a football fan.
I don't
like it when I don't like that Chris Jones is doing it. And that dude was in a suite last night watching the game. Mm-hmm. Really? I wouldn't let your ass in the stadium.
And see, it's a hard thing. And particularly now, the way that things are kind of put together, because you have to seem sensitive or what else? What's gonna get aired out, dirty laundry, or
And
what's gonna be accused, or you just never know.
Here's the kicker. We keep saying, what's the length of a career in the NFL, right? A career, okay? You have a career. I have a career. Our careers are going to be longer than 6 years. They already are longer than 6 years.
That's right.
But if you told me I could take a diversion from that and take six quick years and make $1 million a year, I don't give a shit what the taxes are. Guess what I'm going to do? So I don't feel sorry for these guys. Now, listen, who makes the money? The media makes the money. Like the companies that are broadcasting the game makes tons of money. I know there's revenue sharing in the NFL, but it's probably for shit. I'm sure it's for shit. I'm sure it's not good at all. And you know, I mean, we could even have the argument about paying college players and all that stuff too.
Right.
I'm like, I'm on. Depends on what day of the week, what side I'm on there, because I can see it both ways. But these guys, when you get to the professional level in sports, in any sport, you're making so much money and the potential to make more money. Like Nick Bosa, he could be in any commercial he wanted to be right now. Shit, Peyton Manning may have made more money in commercials than he ever did playing football.
I think between that and his media company, Omaha.
Yeah.
I mean, no, he's definitely built his net worth through other things.
Yeah.
I mean,
to me, to feel sorry for these guys and like, well, you got to get what you can get. I don't disagree with that. I think that's true.
I don't feel sorry for him. Don't get me wrong. But I advocate on the sense of you're your own business in this, because the ownership of the team is going to get what they're going to get.
True.
And you know, it is nothing, and we know in sports that nothing lasts forever.
What have you done for me lately?
That is a quote from Peyton Manning's press conference when the Indianapolis Colts released him. And we know that in sports that nothing lasts forever.
I watched that.
You know, and so I did too. And I could have strangled Jim Irsay right
I was
there.
at Double Dogs.
Were you?
I was at Double Dogs. Having some wings.
I was not at Double Dogs. That was, let's see. That was 2000. It was right. It was the 2000 before the 2012 season. So that was 2011, 2012. I guess I was in residency. I think I was post night call, because I remember I was still awake, but I was not at work. But I remember being kind of sleepy. I think I was on nights then.
Yeah.
But anyway, and I could have Jim Irsay.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Jim Irsay.
It was an emotional thing, man.
Rest of your life, lose for the rest of your life.
What if somebody else?
You had a little bit of success with like. It'll never happen, because that's his, you know, I mean, of course he's got that memorabilia and all that mess, but I'd be happier. I'd be happier
if somebody else owned the team.
Oh yeah. Because they didn't do what he did.
Yeah.
And say no to drugs, kids, because he looks terrible.
He does look pretty rough.
Yeah. Seriously. Not healthy at all.
Moving on from the NFL, we got to hurry here.
That went way longer than I think we meant it to.
It's just I get passionate about that stuff.
It's okay.
So your takes on college football?
Love it.
Last weekend.
Love it. Hey, here's what I'll say. FSU looks great. They figured it out in the second half. Clearly the better team. I mean, I still say I don't think LSU should have been number 5, but as I wrote you in your text message, I don't think it would have mattered where they were ranked. They were going to get beat because FSU was clearly the better team.
I think so too.
I mean, FSU clearly needs to be in the top 5. There's no doubt. We deserve to be in the top 10. We're in the top 10.
Yeah.
We got it figured out in the second half. We were very much better than Virginia. Virginia, not a caliber of an LSU by any sense.
No.
But great start to the season. I mean, Clemson, I mean, I'll eat my hat on that one. I mean, now here's what I'll say. And your boy Feinbaum the dynasty's over for Dabo. The dynasty's over. I mean, maybe, but here's what I'll say. He really underplayed that Duke team. That Duke team was 9-4 last year, won their bowl game, the Military Bowl, had their returning quarterback, lots of good things. Got a great coach. They were playing at Duke.
Yeah.
I mean, Duke is probably going to be a decent team this year and be ranked most of the season.
They play Florida State in a few weeks.
You know, yeah. I don't, and that may have been kind of what Feinbaum was. I don't know that they're caliber of a Florida State. Now, if they beat Florida State, I'll die.
If they beat Florida State, they'll be top 5.
They'll be top 5. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's no way. That's not going to happen. Anyway.
I wouldn't think so.
But I think, I mean, they're a decent team, and I think Clemson doesn't have their stuff figured out.
Yeah.
And he's trying to do this passionate, you know, and it's just it's not getting the players aren't buying it now. And so they're in trouble.
I think they're in trouble. Dabo thing has just kind of run its course because you can only do that for so long. And I mean, at some point, it's like, I mean, this would be like Nick Saban doing that. It's like, well, Nick, you guys win a lot of national championships, and you're always like in the college football playoff, and you're always in the top 5, and like how much shucks. I mean, you know, the world doesn't feel sorry for you anymore.
And
they looked out coached to me.
Every facet of the game. I mean, 4 red zone trips with 0 points. You fumbled twice and missed 2 field goals.
The only time they score is when Duke fumbled the ball.
Yes.
Duke gave them the ball.
Terrible.
Watching that game, I'm like, why couldn't have Florida State played Clemson tonight? Because they would have.
See, I just, you know, and like I said, I thought this would be a rebound season. I thought Clemson would really shock people. Now I'm just I'm just down in the dumps over it. Because I just don't think so.
But they may win out, too.
I don't think so. They looked really bad.
I can tell you right now.
They looked really bad.
As good as Florida State looked and how Clemson looked right now, if they played, I think Florida State runs over them. But I mean, again, they play. They play in a couple weeks.
But it was bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad. I mean, and Duke played a good game. I mean, Duke played within themselves. They actually made more mistakes than they traditionally make. It might have been worse.
It would have been. I mean, by my estimate, it would have been at least 38-7.
Yeah.
Actually, 38-0.
Wow. Yeah, okay. Because if they don't fumble, they probably don't.
I think it would have been 30.
They probably don't get a score.
And like that was, good Lord, they looked awful.
Yeah, it was bad.
I mean,
and I just don't think.
And again, that's from like a weekend where Florida played and looked awful. Clemson looked worse than Florida, and I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah. And Clemson was supposed to be decent. They had a good spring practice. I mean, there were lots of positive things. Now, maybe that's just all hype, whereas people are like, Florida's not going to be good, and guess what? They're not.
It ruined the ticket prices for Florida State and Clemson, though. It's good for me if I actually want to go watch the game because ticket prices were going for like $200 each.
Yeah, now they plummeted
because
everybody
knows,
everybody knows the track meet's going to happen and only one team is running.
I just kind of feel like right now, I mean, unless Clemson,
yeah.
Again, I'm not completely sold on Florida State because I don't know how good LSU is.
LSU's a good team, so I mean they beat a top 20 team, handily.
Yeah,
I just don't know that LSU was a top 5 team. Yeah, I think that was my beef. I just think that, you know, Alabama looked good. I mean, they decide their quarterback like the day before the game, and
they got a quarterback tree.
What did he get? He got pick 2. Him off. He's the only Alabama player threw for 3 and ran for what? I mean, so he set some kind of new standard. I'm like, what in the world? I mean, they didn't play. They played MTSU or whatever. I mean, they played a nobody, but
they played MTSU.
But they look good. And again, I think it gets back to what you said before the season. It's Alabama. He has them ready every year, and that is the huge difference between a Dabo and a Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You know, there's and I know that he beat him. I know they beat him, but
in a very tight ball game.
Yes, I know, but still, Nick Saban. And I mean, they might get it. They might get it.
I think it's going to be.
They might get it.
I think it's going to be hard to beat Alabama.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, you know, most teams played somebody terrible on opening weekend. The Florida State Seminoles did not. Just throwing that out there. But it's a long season. It's what you and I were texting back and forth. I'm like, and you were telling me like, all right, Captain Humble, But like, I'm like, it's a long season. Like I
Well, you were downplaying it. You were like, "Oh, I'm not gonna sign off yet." And I'm like, "Man, they look pretty daggum good."
they did.
I think, and here, so then it gets back to does everybody stay healthy?
And that's been the problem.
Do they stay healthy?
That's been the problem. And then, what I will say is Mike Norvell was a great hire.
Mm-hmm. They got it right. They finally got it right.
I liked him from day one. He didn't come in like that stupid jackass Willie Taggart, tomahawk chopping and smiling from ear to ear. And Willie, what are you going to do? Well, I don't know, but we're probably not going to huddle much. Thanks, Willie. That's what we wanted to know. We were really concerned about huddling, you asshole.
Well, I mean, he just that guy.
That is too big of a job for him.
Yeah, I was gonna say the level of which the coverage was outkicked was insane.
And Mike Norvell came in very humble, like, "Hey, I'm going to do this like I've done everywhere else, and we'll see what happens." And well, here we are. Mm-hmm. 10-win season last year, and
Heupel, I mean, NIL is helping us because we want to win, and I mean,
sure.
our boosters are playing, but Heupel's got it fun again.
yeah,
Has a great attitude. Has really embraced the culture here, but yet he's also setting it his way.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome. And I think particularly the offensive side and our defense, we'll just have to wait and see. But I mean, people want to come here to UT because you will get to show off your offensive skills. You're gonna get some opportunities if you can play some ball to do it, because we play really fast and we try to get as many plays run as possible.
let's be honest too. I mean, it's not easy to get people to commit to UT. You're in the middle of Knoxville, Tennessee. It's not the beach.
Right, it's not sexy time.
Right. It's not, you're not talking Miami, right? It's
Right.
not Gainesville,
Right.
or it's not, out west somewhere.
And you don't have the in-state talent like you do other places too.
Right.
It's not a Texas. It's not a Florida.
Right.
It's not a California. I mean, you don't, Georgia, you don't have it inside there where
Yeah.
it's just super easy to snag what you want and then people go elsewhere. And that was one of the things back in the day. Fulmer did a good job of being able to get people to get out
was
there.
a master recruiter.
And I think
He was a master.
and I think we're back on that trail again. Like I said, NIL helps that. I won't lie.
It was a good idea letting Fulmer go in 2008. Good job. Fuck, what the hell were they thinking?
I was not for that.
He was one of the most beloved coaches in college football.
Yeah.
Still is. And a great recruiter.
Yeah.
Like, I
Made a
mean,
bad decision as athletic director.
Yeah, I mean,
Cost us $8 million.
Tennessee's got it. No big deal.
I know. Oh, I know. I mean, that's the thing.
You know what Tennessee should hold out?
I'm just not going to pay it. I'm just not going to pay it.
It's not gonna
I want
pay
you to write down a new number. We're thinking more like $3 million. We want to pocket that other $5 million.
That's what I tell the IRS. I'm just holding out.
That works out really well.
Right.
Yeah. Fraud is good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Well, it's not fraud if you admit you owe it. You
That's
just
true.
don't pay
That's
it.
true. You're just not doing it.
Right. That's how I operate.
That's it.
I did get
Straight shooting.
We have more, but we gotta go. We've milked this cow.
Beware of stinky planes. And if somebody's running, don't run behind them. You might get trashed.
Maybe that's the
And I'll be the
lyrics
one
to
in
song.
orange with my oldest.
You'll be the one in the orange.
We'll have orange on.
What
Go-
section are you
Go,
gonna be
go
in?
Vols. We are in double Q,
Double Q.
very first row.
Okay.
Upper deck at Neyland.
So you can put your feet up on the
first
railing.
row, probably the best seats
Yeah.
right there.
There you go. I like it.
We'll be there.
I'm looking at tickets for Tallahassee. So.
You should totally do it.
Oh yeah. The boys want to go. I'm trying to see
Make
what
a
would be
run.
a good game.
Make a run.
I'm thinking about going when we play Baked Potato University at the end of the year.
I mean, you should.
It's
It's a sure thing.
nothing's a sure thing. Nothing's a sure thing except the
Death and
David Doc
taxes.
podcast at DaveDoc.com. That's Dave AND.DOC.com.
Thank you for everybody listening.
7,500 subscribers.
Keep it going.
Appreciate it, yeah.
No copyright infringement today, I don't think.
Not yet. Who knows?
See y'all.
See you, folks.